There we go. There we go. Oh, there we are. All right. We are live, Rich and Luke, episode 94. Say hello, Luke. Oh, no. Hold on. Say something again. Oh, no, you're not. I'm not. Something's messed up. It's not picking you up. Stand by. Why? It's weird because it, oops, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Let me test, this. It hears that. Why does it not hear you? What the heck? Yeah. Um, Audio source. Oh, I see why. Um, Wait, do I? Try now?
Hello.
There we go. I'm a genius.
Um.
Actually, not. I'm an idiot for not setting up correctly the first time. But what are you gonna do? Yeah. So trades, right? that's
You
the
just
big
want
news
to
right now.
go into that one?
I mean, we might as well.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, yeah. I
it's
can give some insight too.
even if it wasn't kind of like all we had to talk about, it would still be like the biggest thing to talk about. So
Yeah, I have some
uh,
insight with that as well. Um, Specific towards Toronto had like a pump fake, like I believe the week before, or like 4 or 5 days before, where they put everyone on the block
so
and then pulled it back, saying we talked to the team and we're deciding not to rebuild. And then like the 5 days later, uh, no, it was before the draft, I think,
yeah, I
when
feel like
they
it
when
was
they put
further
everyone
back
on the
then
block.
because
Yeah,
I
it's before
heard
the draft.
something about this.
Yeah,
Um,
he put everyone on the block, and he was like, okay. And then like 2 hours later, he's like, all right, never mind. I talked to my people, and we decided to not rebuild. And then like 5 days ago or whatever, uh, he was like, he just dropped the whole thing again. I'm like, oh, okay, he's actually doing it this time. But it was like, we're gonna wait a week into the season to see how we are. And
I
then I guess
mean, they would have been fine, but
everyone just gave him all the first in
yeah,
order
yeah,
to be like, all right, you know what, fuck it, let me rebuild,
yeah.
which
So
is which is interesting.
I think I heard about the first time, but I'm not sure. I just remember that when I heard that, like the more recent, like the current adding everybody to the trade block, I was like, didn't this already happen? But I don't remember specifically like how what I knew before this time around. I just remember thinking like I thought this was already happening. Um, I guess
No,
what
it was like kind of a pump fake.
okay. Um, how do you feel about the timing for Toronto? It feels to me a little bit premature.
Probably, but a lot of people are in regression. I heard it could not be true, but it could also be true that their locker room is kind of dead.
Well, it
So
depends.
maybe.
I'm not sure how this it's structured now. Um,
Uh-huh.
but when I was in there, um, what I see now is what I would have seen when I was a part of the team, roughly.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's not bad. Um,
Not bad. Okay.
yeah, I mean, it's not like crazy. It's not like super active, but like I don't think it's like an outlier. I don't think, based on my
Yeah.
experience.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I think it feels a little bit early, but also um, there's a significant portion of the team that's regressing and is only going to lose value. And if you don't think you're going to compete, then it does make a bit of sense to pull the trigger, even if it does feel premature. Because like the big pieces, the two defensemen obviously weren't gonna. I mean, they were gonna basically be the same value regardless. Um,
Yeah.
but like other pieces, like their forwards mostly are
Yeah,
kind of
another
like
season of regression. It's like, oh, instead of getting a first, you're gonna get something else.
yeah. So like I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I don't know. I don't think it was a bad choice. I just don't maybe don't. I'm not sure if it was the best choice.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends, really. I mean, who to say? But
Yeah, yeah.
Toronto did like skirt their rebuild in 65, where instead of opting to rebuild, they took all their first and port them into the players. There's
Yeah,
that sometimes you see, and then he drafted some from the players that he originally traded it away, and would get like a weird conglomerate of players that you saw now, along probably with some free agency pickups as well. So it's
I
kind of like they they opted to not do a rebuild, and the consequences of that is having to do a rebuild now because a lot of their players that they traded for are now starting to be in a regression and hitting like that 15, 16, 70%, where if they decide to do the rebuild next season instead of getting a lot of firsts from like Seattle or Calgary, we would probably get more tertiary picks with seconds from teams that will be like in the upper 30s where you don't want
potentially.
picks.
It also puts you in a position where you you your value becomes more dependent on being able to retain contracts as well. The older players get. Um,
Yeah. Also, contract wise, um, sorry,
yep, yep.
contract wise, a lot of their people are um, their expiring contract is on season 70. So trading them now, you have 2 seasons of them instead of 1 season, or like having to work out a contract extension that would cost more or whatever. So I think contract wise, it also worked out.
I think that's kind of a minor issue. Um, maybe some relevance to value, but probably not a whole
He
lot.
probably didn't. Well, he probably didn't think about it. If he did, it's big brain, but it wouldn't be on my mind
No,
thinking
I
about
it's
that.
not something I would consider like significantly because of the way we have the um yeah, just basically because of the way the league is. It's not. I don't think it's a huge concern. Um, I had a thought. Now it's gone. Shoot. Oh, yeah. So part of the issue with I think the way Toronto had built is that it wasn't sustainable, and I don't think anybody would argue that. But
No, it wasn't. It was a lot of trying to go all in and trying to win something at its peak, which
mhm.
was a lot. Or season 67, season 68, but unfortunately they got bounced twice. Once by Buffalo, once by Montreal, right? Or once by they
uh,
got bounced in the second round both times.
yeah, yeah. But I think if the doing it that way, it kind of puts you in a position where at some point you have to hard rebuild. There's
Yeah.
just no other
And
option.
it's like, what type of road do you wanna land on? Like, New England, similar time period where, you know, we stuck to the rebuild. Now we're starting to get good. Like, last season, I guess, was, like, the first official season that, like, we're no longer rebuilding, uh,
Mhm.
and now this season should be the season that we get good. It helps that Toronto, sucks now, and a lot of the players are moved out west, which is, great for New England.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
so
actually,
no, this was
most except for what?
mostly Manhattan and,
There's a Montreal deal,
Mon
which
yeah,
was
Manhattan, Montreal
I don't think the
deal.
Montreal one was very big though, was it? I can just
So no one in our
just stronger.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean, Montreal got better, but they're peaking right now, so they might as
Yeah.
well.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, so instead of waiting the 4 seasons to now get good, they opted to be good for the 4 seasons. Like, I looked and they were like, 11th, 2nd, and, like, 4th, I believe. But the 2 11ths, like, they both had, like, really good seasons. It's just 10 other teams also had really good seasons,
Yep.
which is, good for parity. But they traded 4 seasons of rebuilding to 4 seasons of being a good team. So now, uh, time caught up with them because they don't have the players in like 63, 64, 65, or and even like 62 where like they would be peaking now, but they peaked earlier because they traded for all the players that like Edmonton traded away and Baltimore traded away, and like the other teams that went into rebuild mode. So they got a lot of like 57, 58, 59, 60 players.
Yeah. 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 Did you want to
And
talk about any of the trades in particular, or should we go through all of them? Or
yeah, I mean we can go through the ones that are important, which is all of them. I mean, you can go to the biggest one, which is the Edmonton trade, which traded 2
yep.
defensemen for 4
Uh,
firsts, 2 seconds, and then 2 throwaway-ish picks. But I think Miss McSaves is is a active youngish
Active,
defenseman. So
but not like particularly high earning. I actually
yeah,
don't remember what season, but yeah, it's fine.
yeah. I
They
mean,
got. Oh,
they
sorry, go
got
ahead.
two really good young defensemen. It also contingent on the fact that HFFO kind of picked a lot of players. A lot of the players are kind of mid earners, where that you know none of them earn extremely high. There's probably like one or two or
Mhm.
three. Um, and then he spent a lot of the draft capital that he acquired, like the Toronto first and the Texas
Yes.
first, and the other Toronto first that he got from trading away a lot of those players. So now he's just trading them back to Toronto in order to get other players.
Yeah, that's
Um,
actually what I was going to mention. Is he's kind of HFFO is kind of just like playing with house money. He's just he's got these picks that aren't
yeah, so
his.
I think he decided that like okay, the prospects that I have will be good enough. Now I want to buy like we saw with the Raven. He got Raven for two firsts, two of Edmonton first in season 73 and season 74, I believe. And then I think their budget sheet is updated. Yeah, so forwards wise, Raven kind of fits a little weird because
Mhm.
Raven's in regression and he's their highest GP forward by like 600, 700 GPE. Like
Yep.
they have a lot of forwards in the 1,000 to 1200 range, which I don't know how good that would be, but and then you sprinkle in a couple of people under 1,000 TP, some that are earning like the Y-Man and MN Moosey, and like one inactive, and then on the forward side or defense side, you got two 1250 TP defensemen from the two defensemen that you have, and then you have HFFO's player at 1200 TP. You have Waters at 1050. You have Noof at 1100 TP. So their defense is kind of good. It'll be set up for like
Yep.
3 seasons from now. Their defense is going to be looking great, and
Yep.
then they
At
also
least
have an actual good goalie, but goalies don't matter.
the two these two players, these two defensemen, I think both will have their peak season in 72.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
'Cause I forget. Yeah, we were actually looking at potentially making a deal for these two guys in LA as well until we found out that it was Toronto or not Toronto, Edmonton, and they were like, "Oh well,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what we do. There's no way we'll be able to compete with whatever deal they can put together." So we just kind of
Yeah,
gave up
we
on it.
were looking at
But
either one, and we were going to match it, but then they just did that trade. I'm like, all right, that makes
yeah,
sense.
with I assume that Hifo has like a similar kind of thought process that we did, and this is a move like this essentially like shifts your window, like opens your window like a full season or two earlier than it maybe would have been, depending on the rest of your roster. But like two, pretty highly earning. They're not like tippy top max earners or anything, but they're both
I think
quite good.
they're in top 10 in their draft class. I
Yeah, I
think.
mean, but that's not necessary. I don't know. So they're both pretty good. I don't think I would. They're not like I said. They're not going to be like the like super elite, but they're both very good. They should hit like
But
we had it worked out, but I don't remember. But like
yeah, no, Dangles and Shallows are 7 and 8.
yeah, yeah.
But the one issue that I have just looking at it is that will the players that he drafted get enough TPE so that it matters when Raven's still good and when Dangles and Volpix are peaking? And that's the big
Raven
question.
is S57. Is that right?
59.
Oh, 59. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but
So
it's going to get to 15%, and
yeah,
then like,
15% next season, which is a little bit tough.
but you do have two good prospects and Makito, which is a max earner.
Mhm.
Besides you, Rich, because you blew everyone out of the water in that draft class. And
Well, that's
then
not. I don't think that's fully true, but that's fine.
you're like 30
Uh,
TP above
I
Makito.
don't think that's necessarily accurate. I think some of the
I,
people have not claimed everything yet because I should only be
oh,
like 20-ish, maybe even less than
still.
that ahead.
But
I think.
anyway,
Anyway, yeah. Sorry.
and then Barnabas Collins, who's also like a not like a max earner, but like a high
No,
level
but
earner
pretty
as
solid. Yeah,
well.
yeah.
And they're gonna get caught up next season. And their defense, no, they're both forwards, so that will help because they'll probably replace Versi and someone else. Maybe Vandy retires. Who knows?
If you know,
Um,
if
actually,
Raven
no.
wants to hang on for like a while, he can be a very
Yeah, he
solid
can, but
depth
I'm just not
piece.
sure
It's up
who.
to him though. That's
I'm
you
just
know
not sure who replaces him as like the
this. Yeah,
max
the
guy because
yeah
you have Holtzfan and Blix, which is great, but they're going to take 2 to 3 seasons to get to like the 1600 TP, and Raven will be at like 1400 TP.
yeah.
So they're
It
trying
could
to
be
find like a good balance between like finding your window and because you don't want the players that you traded for peak too early. But I
yeah
don't think that will be an issue with the defense that they trade. I'm just not sure with the forwards if he has enough max earning forwards to justify. But you
yeah.
could also trade for one. So
That's what I was
just
thinking.
trade
Is
more
he
first.
still has first, and at this point, if you are starting to hit your window, maybe you look at those picks as being expendable, and
Yeah.
it's
I think he would. So it's just what moves does he make now in order
mm,
to make sure that his peak is actually peak and not like a weird like middle ground where like you're good but you don't have like that one like specific peak which that's on him to deal with.
mm,
But I mean he has 3. Yeah, he has a decent amount of first to get the guy. But
yep. And while he gets back like like very likely top five picks, like probably all of
depends.
them, all the first are probably top five.
I mean, you have Texas is first, which will probably be a top 5 pick
Mhm.
because they have a lot of players, a lot of prospects, and they only have like one player above 1,000 TP, which is their GM, Dirty Boots, which is at 1,700 TP. I don't know if he should have his player and just retire and recreate, but he has his plan. And then you have the Toronto first, which should probably be in the top 10, like 6,
Yeah.
7, 8,
Well,
because
I feel like
Hamilton's tanking.
yeah, Wally's gonna probably try to out tank Hamilton. I don't know if
I
he
don't think
does.
uh,
I don't think he. Yeah,
it depends on which IFAs he signs,
yeah,
really.
that's fair. We'll see.
Um, and then you have LA's first, which I don't think LA will be a.
This season? No, we're actively trying to do well. We're not going to. We're gonna, but we're trying
Yeah,
to
I know you.
be
Yeah, I know
absolutely
you're actually
terrible
trying to do well because you don't have your first
because we
this
don't have our
season,
first.
so
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't
So there's no
matter.
incentive. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and
But
then
it's
in
still going to
this,
be. I mean, it's still possible that that ends up as a lottery pick.
bro, you're in the West.
Probably not.
Calm
But
down. You're in the West.
what?
West is
It's
easy.
it's. I guess you're right. Texas, Minnesota. Who else?
You can
Isn't there
as
another?
Texas,
SFP. SFP
Minnesota,
is actively trying to do
San
bad. I think so.
Francisco.
Yeah. So
So
we're
you're
probably not.
gonna
Yeah. We're probably
your
I don't know
pick
what.
probably like a still top 10 pick, but it's not gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
like a
Like
top
8 or
5 or
9 or something
whatever.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then in the seconds, yeah, he has a Philly second, which will probably be in the 30s now. LA second, bro, you don't even have any of your seconds. Jesus Christ! All right,
Yeah, we
that
like to
second,
move seconds. Yeah, yeah. But we've got a ton
yeah,
of seconds too, just other people's right now.
that's true. Your second is probably gonna be like 28, 29, maybe or 27. Calgary second's gonna be good. So Seattle second is gonna be in the 30s. So his seconds this draft is not good. Um, so it depends. He just has to nail his drafting basically.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, maybe he trades all the firsts away in order to get players again. Who knows?
Maybe I mean that would be a very Wally move, even though it's the wrong one. But that would, yeah.
And then what are the good ones?
The
Shane
Seattle one was
Duffy.
interesting. The Calgary one was pretty interesting.
Yeah, Calgary trying to open up the window more
Yeah, I mean
by
they have a whatever they do, their system works, but like their roster just doesn't look like it should work, but it does. So adding some additional firepower makes sense. Um,
yeah, I mean Maple's still good.
mhm.
Brian, however you say it, he's uh he's a decent pick, season 62, about to be regressing soon. So he's not like earning any. He's earning decent, but a good secondary piece right now. And then
Mhm.
it was probably like the second that they traded, and then obviously with Dogwood Maple, the 1600 TP forward that probably cost a first, and then Sato probably cost another first. Oh wait, no, Sato's 1200.
Sato's quite old. Yeah, he's quite old.
How
S53
did
or
they get? How
4 or
did you
something
get
like
two
that.
first? How did you get two
Yeah, this
firsts and a second?
it's a definitely feels a bit like an overpayment for Calgary by Calgary.
Because the LA's first gonna be a top 10. I don't know who's Dogwood Maple, but like
Maple's the
O'Brien.
yeah, it's a bit weird. I
Yeah,
guess the only pick that really has like a ton of value is the LA one potentially. Calgary
yeah.
one,
The Calgary one
they probably don't fall
has
off
probably
that
doesn't care,
much. Yeah,
and then the second has probably
second's
doesn't
kind
care
of
about
whatever.
that.
Yeah,
So I mean, he's trying to win
I don't know.
now, so
Yeah, that's fair. It's
for that, he doesn't really need the picks. So, but no, Calgary's just getting better because of that, and then Montreal got Strongo for 2 seconds.
this one I
Uh,
actually really like for Wally actually. Um,
really?
yeah. So when we gave him Strongo, we got no wait other way around. Shit, what if my brain's broken? Yeah, when we gave him Strongo, we got a first, a conditional second, which the condition didn't trigger, so we only got the first and Shane Duffy. Um,
Yeah,
so I don't remember the Shane Duffy thing was like we got a second or something like that for him, and now
yeah.
Toronto gets 2 seconds and Duffy for Strongo. So they're essentially just like turn 2 seconds, first into 2 seconds. Like I don't know, I feel like Wally got pretty good value here. The picks
I
might
don't
not be
think
great.
so. I don't think he got any value out of this.
I mean, they're we have to see what those classes are going to look like.
That's
That's really
true.
what it comes
One of
down
them
to.
could be a red draft, but like it's 2 seconds.
73,
I
I
mean,
think might be, but I think it's supposed to be 74 or
obviously
is it
Leafs
73?
is in regression, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
probably
he's
why.
1500 and he's S56, so he's old.
Okay,
He's
so that
getting hit
return
pretty
makes
hard.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Calgary traded Ineeks to San Francisco for that season 72 LA
Oh
piece
yeah.
first as well. Which makes sense for Calgary or for San Francisco because I'm pretty sure Neeks knows people well there. And then Toronto got 2 seconds for Patty as well.
Yeah, which that one's kind of like I don't know. There's not a ton there. Patty's a
It just makes sense.
fine earner. I don't know how it works for Hamilton necessarily. I mean, the picks they probably don't
I don't
want
know.
them or care about them.
Yeah,
Uh,
they already have a lot of prospects, so they probably just don't care about those second.
yeah, that'd be my guess.
Actually, they don't have a lot of prospects. Oh no, they just called up a lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. I had
But
to
even then,
make a
like
bunch of
their
moves for him.
earnings are even like more suspect than Edmonton's players.
Yeah, they're in a
If you look at their
weird spot.
roster, they just didn't draft too well.
Um, Seattle. What about the Seattle one? That one's pretty recent.
We talked
Oh,
about the Seattle one.
did we? I don't
No,
think
we
we did.
didn't. We didn't.
No.
First and two
Ty
seconds
Murphy.
for Ty Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah, which seems fine, I suppose.
Uh,
Murphy's kind of in the same spot as what's his name, Dogwood, isn't he?
he has a lot more TP though. 1800 TP.
Is he a
Season
season
60.
younger?
Season
Yeah.
60. So he just entered regression.
Okay. Okay. I thought they were only
So
one season apart, not two, because Dogwood's 58, right? I think.
Dogwood's 58. So I
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
return for that Seattle or the price that Seattle paid for
Yeah.
him,
It's
especially since
yeah. Right.
they're opening they're pushing open the window more.
Yeah, and none of these picks are highly valuable. Like the 71 Seattle first. Seattle's going to be fine unless they blow it up next season.
No, they're
Um,
not. They're not going to blow
which
it up.
no, of course they're not. That would be silly. But like they should still be at least decent. Yeah, they are aging, but
They're
like
trying for their third back-to-back wins.
yeah, yeah. And then
And
the
then
70 Seattle second, that's gonna be should be quite late. So it's gonna be
yeah.
yeah, yeah. This feels pretty good for Seattle, I think.
And
Yeah.
then the other major one was a first and a second for Thunder and Infidel
Where was that the
in
which one was that?
Manhattan.
Manhattan, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so they got like uh Oh, sorry, they got Infidel, who's 16 or 1550 forward. I forgot he switched to forward, and then
Yep.
Thunder, which is a 1300 defenseman. So it's good for Manhattan because they're trying to keep their peak window alive that they have right now.
Is
Yeah,
Infidel in regression? What season was he?
yeah, he's
60?
in regression 60. Yeah, first
Okay.
season. So yeah, New England did not make any moves.
Well, you did
Uh,
just like further like a while ago, right? Didn't you? What's his name?
we traded for Pale. Yeah,
Pale, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. That's the only move because we have all active players,
yeah, yeah.
and then next season we call up two more active players. So we're kind of chilling right now.
You guys look pretty decent this season. I think the big question for where you finish, for New England finishes, is how Montreal does.
Uh, how Montreal Buffalo does.
I think I'm pretty confident in Buffalo. I'm less confident in Montreal.
Buffalo
Uh,
wise, like forwards, we're about the same defense. I think they're better, and then goalies, we're better, but goalies don't matter at all. So it just depends on the coin flips that we get.
hmm.
So like second and third, I don't really know who will be
Yeah, I
there,
don't
but
remember where I put you, but it was one of second or third. But I don't remember.
yeah. But no, forwards wise, I think we're a little bit better. Defense wise, they're better, and then goalie wise, we're better.
Hmm.
So
Trades. What else? Is that it? That's kind of it, huh?
that's it. Yeah. So
All right. What else is there to talk about then? Not a whole lot. Hey, there's something I didn't realize was a thing until just like an hour ago or something like that. There's a here. Let's go to my profile really quick. Uh, this thing, IAHF Hall of Fame member, a little thing.
Oh, I guess they just added that.
Yeah, I had no idea. Kind of weird. So
Bro,
we're
who
getting
cares about
things
IHF?
right. That's exactly. So that's a thing. That's new. Neat. What else? God,
what else?
I mean, there kind of isn't a whole lot else, right?
Uh, I don't know. Nothing really happened. It's the off season.
I know. I mean, we had the J draft, which
What happened there? Do you know anything about
I don't.
that?
I all I know is that Seven traded almost all of our picks away, and
Nice.
and like more picks than it required to do so. But that's trading down and then trading down and then trading down until until we aren't in the draft anymore, which is
Nice.
fine. Not a complaint, just funny. Um,
I hear you complaining. I hear you want to get out of
yes,
LAP.
yeah, it's a nightmare. Wait, what? Uh,
Or I meant out of uh fucking Carolina.
Carolina. No,
Yeah.
no, no. We're fine. We're fine. Something custom schedule for the J. That's kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll
I
get to see how much an impact back to backs had.
I don't. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know what the catalyst for this was. If it was to try to limit the back to backs, if that was like the
Yeah,
whole
I think
reason for
so
this.
because a lot of the JGMs are a bunch of whiners. So you know they got too comfortable. Getting grapes fed. They got up everything.
So that's a thing. That's fine, I guess. I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that at all.
It's all away. Just in case anyone thought I was being serious.
um, want to go look at some what do you call it? Grab this and take that over there. Season predictions. Do some season predictions or something.
Yeah, I guess we can.
I don't really know what else to do other than open cards. I don't necessarily want to do that. Not
Yeah,
against it, but
just
let's
let
do
it keep on
this.
piling up until one day we open them all.
Okay, here we go. This is what I want. Let's do by division, I suppose. Make sure I got the right stuff open here. Let's do this over there. Sorry, I'm having a hard time organizing. Okay. All right. Where do you want to start? You want to start your division? You want to start somewhere
Yeah,
else?
we can start at the Pacific. Just go down.
Pacific. All right. It's top to bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's a ton
It's a
of
pretty
mystery
easy.
here. Yeah,
It's
it's
Seattle, Calgary, Edmonton, LA, San
LA, San
Francisco.
Francisco. Yeah. I don't think there's a ton interesting there. The only way it really changes like a ton is if like somebody like there is the only wild card is Seattle, and I don't really think it's much of a wild card, but um if they have somebody new doing coaching and they try to switch things up too much and it doesn't work, that could potentially change
I
things
think they just
slightly.
have too much CP to
Right.
have it better
That's well, I mean
for the
it
division.
possibly you can maybe it's possible. I think it's unlikely. I think it's very unlikely. But I do think it's within the realm of possibility. Um, but yeah, it's probably not going to happen. I think they probably just keep everything they were doing before because it worked so well. Why would you change anything? Uh, unless whoever was doing them before took all their secrets home with them.
Bro. But who would I don't know who does coaching for them, but I don't
I have
think
no idea either.
anyone left.
No clue.
So
Yeah, no, I don't think anybody really left either. And yeah, I have no clue who does their coaching.
and then for the
S-
Central Division,
Central.
Winnipeg should be first. And then
Winnipeg
second
should be
and
first.
third, it's
Second should
either
be
New
Chicago.
Orleans or Chicago, but I
I
don't
don't.
New Orleans they always underperform
Yes, I don't
at the
really
moment.
trust them. But Chicago also has more TPE. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
combined with my
Bro, how's Winnipeg
distrust of,
TB?
they're still really good.
They're always in
They
regression,
haven't
man.
really got. I don't.
Oh,
mm,
damn. They actually
Yeah,
are third in TB.
yeah, they're quite good.
Apparently, Seattle only has 1287 average TB, but I think that's lying.
Where are you getting that from?
The Aaron bot, if you do
Oh, okay.
roster
I
rank,
never use that. I only use the
it's a little bit
player
skewed
analyze.
because it accounts for the backup goalie TB as well.
Okay.
Like it has New England at 9 at 1263, but if you do it by like a
Yeah. Does
it's
the
1335 without the backup goalie.
yeah. Hmm. So yeah, Winnipeg, Chicago, New Orleans, Texas, Minnesota, or Minnesota, Texas? Probably Texas, Minnesota.
Bro, you think Minnesota's good?
I don't think either of them are good.
That's true. True.
Oh yeah, I guess yeah. Minnesota has lower TP than I thought. Or actually, well, Texas has higher than I thought. I guess, but still.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. God, that was uninteresting. Both of those divisions are kind of whoa. What just happened? Um, both those are less interesting than I thought they would be.
Mm-hmm.
The Atlantic.
Alex,
Actually, a
I
little more
think
interest here.
it's
Is
just
Atlanta still
because
okay?
I don't know. Yeah, Atlanta's
Yeah, Atlanta's still
second in
pretty good.
TV.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Or third, sorry, but Manhattan sixth, Philly's ninth, but they should be better. It's just like Philly did really well last season, and
Hmm.
Manhattan during the regular season is kind of pedestrian.
Yeah.
Um, so it's probably like Atlanta, Philly, or Manhattan, Tampa, Montreal, or Tampa, Baltimore. What is Tampa doing
Kind
in
of
general?
rebuilding. I think. Kinda. I'm not
It
fully
sucks. I
sure.
mean, they don't. They haven't tanked hard enough for like to be bat
They had
against
3
Baltimore.
firsts this season, so I assume that
They
means
have.
they
They do have a
are
lot of.
rebuilding. Um,
They have a lot of players, but they don't have. I don't know. This is actually kind of decent, but like prospects wise, they have Bruins 10, Captain Squall. America and Just Another Hockey Fan are decent earners. ACAP, Agent Smith, they fitted Leo Bennett MCP that recently drafted. So I'm guessing they're trying to make a core off of that.
Mhm.
I mean, they kind of have to. You can't really do much other than that because Zomp went inactive. I didn't
Oh, did
expect
he?
that.
Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, did he? I don't want to lie.
Well, he's been
Yeah, he
online
hasn't
pretty
up.
recently, but has he not
He
posted?
hasn't updated since September,
Yeah, he hasn't posted in anything since
December,
December 19. Yeah.
or no, even like November was when he actually did shit.
Yeah.
So yeah,
He
he
did
went
an activity check in
inactive.
December, but that was it.
Yeah. So
Tough stuff.
I guess they're rebuilding now,
Yeah.
but like they were kind of like in limbo for the past couple seasons. So yeah, it would be that, and then for the Northeast, it should be Montreal, Buffalo, or New England. Probably Buffalo, then New England, then Toronto, then Hamilton.
Hmm. See, I take Buffalo over Montreal. Buffalo, Montreal, New England,
I think
Toronto,
Montreal
Hamilton.
just has too much TV, and
Um,
they have good coaching.
So I think Buffalo does. They've got like the Toronto formula where it's just like they're
Mhm.
just gonna go all offense, and they may not beat like Montreal in head to head, but I think they're gonna like just kind of beat up on the bad teams better than Montreal is able to,
Uh,
and that's gonna give them more points. Is mostly kind of how I see it
I
going.
don't think so. I think Montreal should be first.
No, maybe we'll see. We will see for sure.
And if you want to count anything for preseason, we beat Buffalo 8-0 in preseason. But who really
No, it's
knows?
fine. It's fine. Hey, you guys are way better this season. So
Yeah, tell me that I'm gonna be first. That's
I
what I want to
cannot do
hear.
that. I can't. That's so. I just don't
You
trust
don't believe
Jeffy.
in Jeffy?
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm just joking.
Why
I don't.
not? Jeffy's
I don't.
great.
I don't feel strongly one way or the other. I honestly don't know like his level of competence with FHM, so I can't really.
He was the main coach on Buffalo when they won. It was him and Toman.
Okay.
So I poached Jeffy, I guess you can say, from Buffalo. But no, he knows FHM a
Okay.
good
Cool.
amount.
Yeah, I have no idea. So.
But if he does bad, then obviously I'll complain about him 24/7, and
Hell
then
yeah.
he requests out, of course.
uh, all right. What? I mean, yeah. That was not that interesting because we're. But it's fine. What else you got? You got anything else before we do some cards? Because again, not super excited
Did I
about
do
that.
anything? Did
No,
I do anything fun
you
in
were
the
on
MCP?
what do you call it?
Oh,
Justin Jurt, right?
yeah, that was for like 2 hours, I think. It was a
Was it
long
that
time. It
long?
was like an hour and a half.
I was there, but like I don't really
Yeah, I know you
remember
were there,
much
but
much of it. Like I know I stayed through the whole thing, but I honestly don't. It's like
yeah,
yeah,
we didn't even discuss the Wally shit. Because when I drafted Wally, Lepolis had Wally as a player, and then he got pissed, and we talked about it. Then we didn't even talk about that. We just it went for a long ass time.
yeah. It was. I remember enjoying it, but
I also did
I
a
remember having
podcast
fun.
with
But
Snoosu and Thief of Cheese.
I did. I listened to maybe 10 minutes of that one.
It was not a good podcast. The
It
only
was
thing it
like
was
draft
for,
stuff, right? Like
yeah, the only thing it was for is to get the money.
yeah,
That's literally the only goal. And because we did ours, they were able to get the full 5.6. So that's literally the only way. I did it with Rice Bowl the last season. He got 5.6. You know, I'm not giving them money, but I'm helping them get money. I don't think a lot of GMs are taking advantage of that because podcasts are easy money if you can just talk for an hour like I can, and they talk
it's
sometimes.
it's easy and it's not like yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a like a um yeah, it's like a I don't know how to put it into words. But yeah, it's like it's super easy if you're comfortable doing it, but if you're not comfortable doing
That's
it,
true.
is awkward and weird and like hard to
That's true.
do. But like
Because I've done a lot. I've done so many.
yeah,
Just with
and
this,
that's
with Rit, with Kez, with Evan, and
yeah,
then a
and
couple other one-offers.
I'm only feel comfortable doing it because I've done so many. Like when I first started, I did not feel comfortable. I was nervous doing it the first handful of times just because it's like that thing of like it's kind of like public speaking, but not really, but kind of that same kind of like I don't know. Um, yeah, and then feeling like you might need to edit things to make it sound better
Oh,
because like I
no,
was
I just fucking throw it
well
up, call it a
right,
day.
but that's part of it is like I was really like overly critical of the the pauses or the umming and
Oh yeah,
ahhing and all that stuff. So I would edit like probably an unhealthy amount to like tighten everything up. Uh and yeah, so that kind of stuff I think makes it more difficult than it has to be. But
hmm
it's more so about just getting comfortable talking and
yeah,
knowing
true.
that somebody's going to
And
listen and judge you.
yeah, that's fair. Um, yeah, just for me, I can just talk and not have to think about anyone listening, and just rip through it, get them the money, and you know, help them buy training and shit or whatever they need. The most legal way we can.
Yes, yes.
Because I cracked down on the shitty sick payments for 4 mil. So now I gotta find other
uh,
ways to get my players money. You know?
uh, man, I was such a big fan of those. Doing as a banker, like
Yeah, you get to look like,
approving
oh,
those
who how
transactions.
are they getting 8 million? It's like,
Yeah,
oh, they made two shitty six
I
and
look at
now
that and be like, really? Like, yeah, I guess this is technically within the rules. This is clearly
yeah.
stupid.
I made jamming too hard for me, I guess. By making
That's
all my
whatever.
rules.
Somebody will listen to this and go on a crusade to close that loophole too. So right,
What loophole?
the
Oh,
the
the
podcast.
podcast? I mean, you can, it's media. If as long as they talk, it's media. You know?
Well,
Who
no, but
who
like
who am
like
I
cut
to
it,
say?
cut out your portion of the pay and only give them like their
Well,
thirds.
it was
Instead
because
of
we did a podcast, so
right, right,
I would have received nothing,
right.
so,
Yeah, yeah.
gave it to them, so they got the max money.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. That's the loophole. I just
I
it's
just
funny.
did
It's
2
funny.
podcasts instead of 1 just for them to get more money. I mean, every off season, I just send out, at, our roster saying, "If anyone wants to do a podcast, just let me know. We'll get a lot of money out of it." Because even if you get, like, 4 people, it's still, like, 4.6
Yeah, it's
million.
still it's yeah, when you do like the double draft, it's yeah,
Yeah, and then,
it's a
everyone's
lot.
getting paid, like, 4 million already, so that's, a season's worth of trading right there in your
Yeah.
pocket,
It's
you
pretty good.
know?
It's pretty good.
So,
But then we'll get to the
that's
point where
just how
there's too many and they'll have to cut the cut the pay,
Nah, man. No, you
right?
just gotta
Is that how
increase
it
the pay
works?
now.
When
Just
the
increase. Always increase the pay.
when
But
the
no one's gonna do a
supply
podcast.
gets to be too much and they have to
Yeah, but no one does podcasts. It's just us
I
and
mean,
occasionally Seven, and then there's actually a new
yeah,
guy
there
that did a podcast.
yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
the guy
that.
did
Listened to that a
By
little bit.
Bytor's been doing them pretty regular now too, although I
Oh, yeah.
haven't
Oh,
listened
yeah.
in a minute to his. I
Yeah.
listened to I think the first 2 or 3 and then I haven't gone back in a bit. Um
Bro, I can't listen to the single podcast, like single, talking
yeah,
podcast.
solo casts are a bit tough, and nothing against anybody doing it. That's not easy,
Just
uh,
get a partner.
but it's
Make it so
it's
much
it's a
easier.
bit awkward to listen to. But the part of that is because it's difficult to do.
Yeah, because
It's,
talking for an hour is hard, but
yeah, and just
if
and to
two
have
people
nobody to
bounce
you
off
just put
of.
if you put a thought out there, there's nobody to even like reflect it or yeah, not even about giving good feedback, but even just like receiving your message. It's like it helps so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
just makes it so much easier, and it's
And it's way more fun
basically
too.
the same amount of money.
Yeah. Like I found that solo podcasting was work, whereas with doing it with somebody else was generally enjoyable.
Yeah, because for one person, it's 4.2 mil an hour. For two people, it's 2.8 mil
Mm.
for the hour. So you do decrease in money, but with one person, it's boring as fuck. But I guess like you could just ramble for an hour at the beginning of the season, and then you're good.
Sorry, I just inhaled some water.
You're fine. You're fine. But yeah, no, even like four people is 2.1 million for an hour, which is still a lot. Um, but yeah, yeah, no, podcasts are just free money at this point. I just can't believe no one else is doing it more.
Yeah, man. It's good. It's good. What about? Sorry, I'm still
You're fine. You're
feeling it.
fine. Awards haven't been posted yet, by the
Oh
way.
yeah, I was just thinking about that. Yesterday I was like, did I just miss it, or has it just not happened yet?
No, it's just not. I don't know. I
Who's the
think
awards
just
head? Who do we have to? Who do we have to?
Shiloh's just
Oh,
dropping the ball, man. I mean, a Hall of Fame, also hasn't,
yeah, but we're
but
used to that not being on.
they're still doing backlog shit, I think.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I haven't checked there. Excuse me.
I think they're trying to
Yeah, still
trying to
always.
trying to get everyone caught up, and then maybe they just do a massive one. That would be kind of fun, like the last like 5 seasons worth of Hall of Fames in a day, or like spread out throughout the week. Actually, that would be kind of sick. Actually, you know what? Have Hall of Fame. You, it's like the IHF way that they just did it,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
like
yeah,
once a day. Actually, because that would be kind of interesting.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
if you don't do it through a stream, you might as well draw it out a little bit.
yeah. And you could basically like put it in media and then
Mhm.
actually post the official things then
Oh,
later, or
that would be cool, but it does take effort, and no
right.
one wants to put in the
Yeah,
effort.
that's big issue there.
Yeah,
just
because
just
they
messing
could
around,
vote.
guys.
Because you could vote first 2 weeks of the season. Induct someone, and then spend the rest of the season writing the media for it, and then that off season, like you do the primer, like everyone here's like some honorable mentions that didn't make it, and then you do like the 2 or 3 people that got in, and then call it a day. That's like a whole week's worth of media and hype and shit.
Mm.
That would be kind of cool, but it does take a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, because obviously just go through like their career, what happened if they if they won shit, which hopefully they did. If they're in the Hall of Fame, at least get nominated. Their career highlights, whether that's winning a cup or like having MVP season, or like shit like that. Because that would be cool. Maybe get some quotes from different people. One or two people. Keep them in the loop. Put on the down low. You know, like with when I inducted Yogurt Loaves player, BBYGM's player, I got quotes from like 10 or 12 different people. Obviously, that's a team Hall of Fame rather than Hall of Fame, but just like to add like to some like personality to the Hall of Fame, rather than just being like, here, boom, they got like 800 points, Dar Nom, 2 All-Star awards and a cup. You had a little more flair to it.
Yeah, it'd be pretty
I don't
good.
know.
I would enjoy that.
Yeah. Is there anything else? We're at 50.
Yeah, there's like, yeah,
Did you
we're
do the
basically sitting around.
casino? Did you
I
do the
did
big
not.
casino?
I don't do casino. I don't
Bro,
like it. Not a fan.
Toronto under.
Well, yeah, of course. Like there's some obvious ones now.
Yeah, bro. Oh my, it's free money. Bro, right when they made the trades, I just added everyone in the locker room. Be like, listen, Toronto under, LAP over, and like another one over. I forget now. It's just free money at that point.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not interested in free money. I want to work for my money.
Yeah, that's why. We can talk about fantasy, Rich.
Can we? Oh
Now
yeah,
that I'm
we
actually in
could.
it.
We could. That's right. Yeah, we're
Do,
in the same group.
do you like my roster?
Let's take a look. Let's take a look at your roster. I actually don't remember.
I
You
have
have you got Snooks. You got who else?
Snooks, Lebedev,
Lebedev. I like Lebedev.
Koivu.
I'm not a huge fan of Snooks, but that's fine. I don't think it's a bad pick
We
necessarily.
ball out with Philly sometimes.
What do we got here?
Yeah, Paul Koivu.
Koivu. That's one of your guys, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
Cup
We
Noodle. That's
got
your guy
Cup
too, isn't it?
Noodle.
Yeah.
Another one of my guys.
That one's questionable.
Listen,
it's
bro,
fine.
he's gonna have a great season.
Christian
Don't worry about
Kinzinger is not hyper reliant, but reliant on offense, which is, I'm in the same boat though, with both my defensemen, with
Yeah,
both
fuck
of them
you.
being more reliant on offense.
Yeah.
Well, that's not
He
totally
also
true
took
with pucks, but-
Tater right before me, so I had to choose Lev.
Right.
But it would
Well,
have been four.
it was-
for New England people.
Yeah, that Tater pick was like, I'm not like over the moon to get Tater.
Wow.
But like, I think I have to take it where I'm at because I'm picking sixth, and he was
Mhm.
second in scoring. The problem is when you look at fantasy scoring last season, you've got in order Max Manning, Tater, right? But then
Yeah.
you also go into the index and sort by shooting percentage, and you have in order Max Manning and Tater. Yeah, so that's a problem because that's hard to duplicate.
You don't think you
But-
can score 35% again or whatever you did?
They were, I think it was 26 and 24 or something like that. It was, which isn't
all
low,
right, my
but
bad.
it's not quite. Yeah, there's like a point where Manning was at like 35, and we're like halfway through the season or something like that. It was stupid.
Yeah.
But no, it's tough. It doesn't feel great. But my Manning's okay. I think you're fine with Manning simply because he's the highest TPE forward in the league, on one of the best teams in the league. So that's like, yeah, that's still fine. Obviously, you can't count on him to replicate his results from last season. I mean, you can hope,
Yeah.
but and it's not impossible. It's just unlikely. Tater's in a similar spot, although his benefit is not necessarily of his TPE since he's a season into regression. His benefit is more, and I don't expect this to 100% be the same. But last season he played, I think, the most minutes, or not the most. I think he was like third most minutes of any forward or something like that.
Okay.
It was quite high for forwards. I think that's going to drop off. I don't know how much, but my hope is doesn't drop off too much. And then also he plays it well again. And it's a matter of value too. Like when you're getting the second highest score from the previous season at 6, it's fine. There was nobody there that I was super like doing backflips about anyway. So I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I take Tater because it seems like an okay bet. I don't know. My first overall would have been Selleck if I could have got him.
You think Sel's gonna pop off?
I think what he did with the shot total is more easy to replicate than a high shooting percentage.
That's what
So I
you
think-
think. Helmet's been cursed.
Well, but the last season, whatever they did, they figured it out. And if they figured out a formula similar to what Toronto had, they can continue to generate these high shot totals. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So that's why I like Selleck a lot. Also, he's not in regression yet. I think right. This would be his peak season, or is
Yeah.
he first season of regression? I don't
I
remember.
think so.
But
I
he's
forget.
he's quite high on the TPE. He's not like tippy top, but he's like top 10, I think, for TPE. So I like Selleck a lot. And he almost fell to 6, not quite, but almost. That would have been cool. What else? What else we got here? You got which do you switch to? You got you switched to New England goalies. Okay.
Yeah. It's just New England
Yeah,
goalies.
that's fine. I think New England goalies is fine. What else? I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say. I took Gonzo as well, Gonzo Gobbledygook, simply because I think. Actually, no. I think he's another like high TPE forward on Winnipeg. That was the only real reason for that pick. It's just like a, good chance he does at least reasonably well. He's probably not going to be a bust. He might not blow, He might not blow up, but like given his position, he's probably pretty safe. And Salzburger Lillehammerson, let's say. I'm sure that's not pronounced correctly, but whatever. The forward for Atlanta, who was formerly their top TPE forward, now he's like slightly below JQ. But assuming they keep using him the same way, he should still be pretty solid. I think. So yeah, there you go. Who do you think? Do you think anybody in our group is like has a great draft or anything like that?
I like. No, I don't think so.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not super crazy
Rich,
about.
if you got first pick, you would be winning easily. But you
No,
got like the worst like draft position.
No. I think I did fine with the situation.
It's all about the swaps.
We got honestly a pretty favorable group because like Toe Jam and Bubba Tree are like brand new, so they're pretty limited in terms of like their knowledge. Same with Diacope is not super new, but they're not like they don't have a depth of SHL knowledge, so I don't expect a ton out of them. Dex is a pretty sharp dude. I know he pays attention to fantasy, or at least he used to. Ote, I'm not sure what Oates, where he's at in terms of fantasy. And then Shawnee as well is quite new. But he was getting, I saw getting help in the San Francisco locker room, which is fine. But I think we're all right, right? Maybe.
I don't know. This is the first time doing fantasy.
I have no idea.
Like
defense is still like a mystery to me. I don't know how to evaluate defense in 8. Like I just don't. I don't know where to go.
Sounds like a you problem.
It is absolutely is. Like I haven't figured it out. I don't know. I feel generally fine about forwards or being able to like find a forward that I'm happy with, but defense, I don't know. Whatever, man. We're good.
I think we're at an hour, right?
We are just barely short of an hour.
We're
probably
fine,
got
then.
like 2 to 3 minutes left, but yeah. What do we got? So regular season starts Monday. That's fun. Think Jeffy wins the old jester there?
Maybe. I don't know. He
picked
probably
him.
could, but I
think
him too.
He's not like a. I don't think he's like a. He's one of the more obvious choices. I don't necessarily think he's like a shoe-in by any stretch necessarily. But he seems like a pretty solid choice because he's. Is he still
about
the TPE leader in the class?
I think he's
I know he
third
was.
now.
He
Second,
might be.
third.
He's right up at the top.
Depending on the time of day.
Yeah, third right now technically, but that's that's probably
But one
that'll change slightly.
goalie, so goalies don't matter.
Oh yeah.
And then you have Adam, of course, but
Adam, that's a good show too. I didn't think about that. Although
I just think they just have too many good forwards.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like
whereas he could be on like the first line as a complimentary piece and just collect points. Where Adam, I don't know if he can be
gonna take a depth role, and I think they're next. They've got another forward on the team that's not good. Although with adding Ty Murphy, maybe that dude's gone. Yeah, that dude's probably gone. Because I think I was talking to him the other day, and he said like he's got one forward that's like 400 TP or something quite bad.
Are we gonna get him on? Are we gonna get Adam on?
We should probably do him for 100, right?
True. Yeah.
Or should we do? That's a bunch of people we should do that I haven't like. I just don't talk. I like with this being like absolutely zero preparation. Like I never think to like reach out to people or say, hey, do you want to? Because there's no reason we couldn't have somebody on every week. I don't want to.
That's true. I don't want to either.
Because I just don't want to have to like do any organization. I want to message you about an hour before we start and say, hey, are you gonna? And then that's all I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should probably take off. I got to do file work, and I'm sure you got stuff going on. So, and we are an hour
stuff
now.
To do.
So,
try to figure stuff up for budget.
Oh hell yeah! Do some SHL work Sunday night. Heck yeah!
Yeah, it's been fun. Yeah. Very exciting.
Yes.
All right.
All right. Yeah, take it easy. All right, that's going to do it for episode 94. We should be back next week. I should have, again, I should have asked Luke if we were going to be good next week. I assume we are. But yeah, thanks for listening. We appreciate you, and we will catch you next week.